did Lego just call me into buying something that actually would have been cheaper on Bricklink? I'm not sure. I know a lot of you will have experienced this. I haven't, because this is Northern Ireland's first Lego store. So I've never been enticed into the Lego store when I've just on a whim went to buy some bricks. So I'm quite curious to find out, if you compare the price of the bricks in this little box to Bricklink and to Lego.com's online pick a brick. I think it's actually called Bricks and Pick and Build. Pick and Build, I think is what it's actually written on the top of the thing in Lego stores. But what's the value? Is this actually worth it or not? Should I be banned from it? You know? And this is something that really does, it's a thing now because, like I said, I've now got the option of going straight to Lego with a Lego store that a lot of you do have anyway. This is new for us in Northern Ireland because previously I've had to do it in things like when I'm in London. Or do you buy a Bricklink or do you buy off Lego.com, pick a brick? And on a side note, I ordered some of the new minifigures and like me and my son ordered about 40 of them off Lego UK's minifigure selection system. Very cool. But I ordered them, I think 12 days ago and they're still stuck in warehouse. So they do say that this is a bit of a trial phase going on at the minute. So, just a heads up on that. But yeah, so my plan right now is I'm going to check and see what's in this box and compare its value basically. All right. Help me with that. I just, by coincidence, honestly, last week was thinking, so basically I hate sorting Lego bricks. Absolutely hate it. Love Lego. The sorting of Lego bricks just is not for me. I don't know how Bricklink stores owners do it. I know some find it therapeutic, things like that, but all power to you. Great. You're great, honestly. I do it for like 20 minutes, lose the plot and just can't be bothered with it. Eventually things I'm trying to separate end up together as that's good enough. So it's not great. So much so that just to point this out, just to show this, right? If you look down behind me, looks very organized here, right? Look down behind me. You can see on the floor at the moment, there is a load of drawers lying out at the moment. You see that? Just because of the Lego. So yeah, all because of Lego bricks that are currently being sorted from our Bricklink stuff that came in for which we use for our MOCs in our regular episodes that are starting on Sunday. So, yeah, I happened to buy, anyway, in this nice box, a counting scale. And it's to help me kind of, you put so many parts on it, it weighs them and then goes, hey, this is how many of those bricks you've got. I just want it really to put it into my little brick pit at the back here. Yeah, I know a lot of people who own Bricklink stores do have these. I haven't done anything. I got them on Amazon. They weren't very expensive. I did go for a little bit more expensive ones. They were like 100 quid, I think. And the reason I did it was because it has the sensitivity is 0.01 grams, I want to say. Yeah, that sounds good. But yeah, there were cheaper options and there are cheaper options I'm sure you can use. But anyway, this is going to be interesting. So what I'll do is I'll quickly calibrate it. And then we're going to come back and see what we've got. Physical setup was fairly simple. It was just 2 screws. Okay, I've set them up, had to read the instructions. Wasn't, like I said, it's actually really, really simple, but I suddenly realized I know nothing about this whatsoever. Why am I trying to do this without instructions? It was really weird. So anyway, got the instructions out. Very, very simple. So all left to do is to calibrate it. Now they do actually produce a video here to calibrate it, but they look pretty simple. I don't think I need a video for it. So what you've got to do is you've basically got to put these weights on it. This is 500 grams. You got to put these weights on it. So have a look here. Got this little screen here, and something that's really cool is over here. It's actually got a level. How cool is that? Right. So as it turns out, I did need to watch the YouTube video on it. So I'll try it again. Basically, you turn it on. I'm press my calibrate. Well, you should actually tear it. So tear, calibrate. Now, immediately, you have to put both weights on there. If you put them on one by one, I noticed it seemed to be like a really short process. And so it basically cancelled it out. And that's why I was getting double weights there. But now you can see it saying, oh, well, that's 1,000. So it's all fine. There's no problem. Now I can immediately take that off. and it goes towards 0. So that should be it. Okay, so now we've got this scale sorted. We need to basically sort the bricks out. And the problem is that obviously these bricks, which are sealed at the moment, I have not added or removed any from it. These bricks, I picked up interesting bricks. Now my suspicion really is that it depends what bricks you get from Pick a Brick Wall as to whether or not it's worth it. It was things that we actually need for the Lego City. So you'll see how we get to use these pieces in the Lego City. If you follow us on Sundays for those episodes. I just remembered I'm going to have to do Lego sorting on this now because I've just realized I mixed a few bricks for this. The little light green sort of flowers that you get. Then these lighter versions and darker versions of these. Also these light blue 1x1s and some of these cheese wedges in light trans blue. Got them as well. So that's what I went for because I think they were small enough to make it worthwhile. So let's find out. So what I'm going to do now, just so you don't bore you to tears, I'll throw on a quick time lapse and just show me sorting this out. I'm going to have to sort this out into little compartments. Right, that's that sorted. I don't know how all you Bricklink store guys and girls do that. I needed that like a hole in the head, basically. That's not fun at all. It's just not my idea of fun at all. So what have I learned? Keep your pick a brick box. Make sure you keep it one piece. I'm gonna have to make sure it's filled with the same piece, so I never do this again. Oh, also, interestingly, this little box fits into something. Like, look how much you get here. This is it's quite surprising when you see it. That is actually quite a lot of bricks. I've actually had to spill this one over. This to me is actually, it's a lot more than you think. I mean, look, there's the box. This little box, it's a Pandora's box, this thing, isn't it? Look at that. There's a lot more in there than you think. And that's quite deep. That's nearly full. That is full. You know, oh, look, there's already a problem right there. Yeah. But anyway, and I forgot these were even in it. So please check it out. You'll see how we get to use these bricks. My tea is cold. That's how long it took. My wife made me a lovely cup of tea from the last tea bag, by the way, because I forgot to buy tea bags today. And it's cold. I can't believe it. Anyway, I'm going to have to microwave it. But anyway. Right. So I'm going to now put on these on the scale and use the counting feature. Okay. So here we go. Turn on the scales. So tier 0. Count 10 pieces. Okay. So we'll start with these green hateful leaves that I love to build with but hate to count. Okay, so I've done that. So pieces. There's 10 pieces there. Okay. So if I just add maybe 3. Yeah, that seemed to work. That is pretty cool. Find that so cool. What do you think? What do you think it's going to get to? Do you think it's going to reach 300? I mean, I'm only like halfway through. Can I have been 300 in that? I mean, just to give you a heads up, I'm only here. Like, that's wow. I understand why when Lego says, you know, it has so many parts and it comes in this little tiny box. You understand it, you know? Let's see. Right, that is all of them. So 413, 413. I should probably write that down somewhere. I'll call that LG leaves. 104. Oh, 115. So that is the 1x1 plate. Would you have really thought there's that many pieces? I mean, maybe obviously the experienced Bricklink sellers will know this. I would not have thought. That's 115 pieces. Light blue ones. 541. Trans blue or light trans blue. Try this one. 26. So 125. Dark. What the heck do you call those? Like, I call them like the ferns, or how do you spell fern? Is it F-I-R-N or F-E-R-N? Oh, well, I'll just write FEL. Does that look right? Anyway, doesn't matter. I'm going to call that LG Fern. All right. And that was 45. That is a lot more pieces than I would have thought. Genuinely. That's a lot of pieces. That whole thing is 1266 pieces. 1266 pieces. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. We'll jump on Bricklink. We'll jump on lego.com. We'll try and order these same things and let's have a look and see what the pricing is. I'm actually quite interested to know. I used a website called Brickignizr to find it takes a picture of the Lego brick and then takes you over to Bricklink. I used the average quantity price and then jumped over to lego.com, pick a brick to check out its price. Right, results are in. It's so surprising, actually, to be honest with you. So, after looking at the total prices for that box, on Bricklink, remember I used the average quantity pricing on Bricklink for new parts, because these are all new because they came from Lego. Bricklink would cost £28.67. The Lego online pick a brick would cost me £85.86. That is a huge amount of money on top of that. That's insane. So if you're buying your stuff, like obviously it depends what you're buying, but this smaller stuff, and it's so much cheaper to go into a store and pick it up or go into Bricklink and get it, you know. But the pick a brick wall for what I got was £16.99. Yeah, I can actually give you the price now because I actually looked it up. £16.99. That's crazy. So Bricklink is nearly double. It will be double by the time you put postage on it. Lego Online is, I don't even want to know. What is that? That's like 6 times more for those parts. And the Pick a Brick Wall one at £16.99. Now, I'm really surprised at that because I've been sort of just on the assumption. I mean, assumption. I mean, I did do a little bit of research when I started getting back into my Lego again. And, people were like, yeah, pick a brick walls. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. And I guess, yes, 100%, it does depend what parts you get. I mean, looking at this, I went for small parts, but strangely, I wonder, I mean, if you look at the size of this box, right? I wonder what could you fill this box with out of my collection, little bits here, sorry, that I got from it, that would have made this like a gold mine box. I mean, I don't really know, is the honest truth. I'm so surprised that I just thought Bricklink would be the cheapest end of story. Now, bear in mind, you can get used in Bricklink. So what do these results really mean? Looking at the Bricklink results, right, well, Bricklink you can get used on, and look at the selection. I mean, you've got literally everything there. You can go to Bricklink, get things that are no longer production. It's a wonderful place. I love Bricklink, absolutely love it. We'll continue to love it. We'll continue to buy most of my Lego from Bricklink, especially big standard bricks like 1x6s, 2x2s, 2x4s, all that stuff. That's probably, it's probably going to have to come from Bricklink. And weird rare colors, things like that. You're going to get them in Bricklink because A, Lego may not have them, and B, in bulk, generally Bricklink's better. But strangely for some, if you can get something on the Pick a Brick wall, I mean, you'd have to do your research. I mean, using that little app was really cool. But you'd have to do your research when you're standing in the Lego store going, what should I get? And obviously, what do you need? I mean, the whole point of it is for your mock buildings and stuff. But you'd have to weigh that up. And it's actually not quite simple. It's not as simple as you think. The other big tip is, Bricklink does include shipping on there. And if you buy from multiple stores, that could be pretty bad. So for the Lego one, yeah, okay, there's no shipping, but you'd have to drive there and get it. Now, unless you bundle that with you going out and getting your shopping or something like that, you got to factor that in. But for now, we'll just say we're going shop. That means when you're in the Lego store picking up a set on double points, it might actually be worthwhile picking up one of these things if you know what you're getting. I would not fill it with big bricks because you're just wasting money. And remember, there is one that's like half size of this. I think it's like $8.99. I can't remember. Sorry, I don't know the small price. I'm gonna look it up, Google it. But there's one that's half the size. But I would say where you're winning on this is, parts that you see are quite unique, and parts that you see that are minifigure parts, obviously. Parts you see that are quite unique, special parts.
and parts of strange colors. If you do see that, it might be worth just jumping on that little app, scanning the brick and going, what's that worth in Bricklink? If you're so inclined to resell it. If you were, obviously, Bricklink resellers know all these tricks. They're on top of it. So hats off to them. But as a general, as an AFOL, I would not have thought that pick a brick at the actual brick wall was decent value if you know what you're doing. And it's not just decent value, it's substantially better value in some cases. So pick your bricks carefully from it and you can get a little gold mine. That's a really good way to get cheap Lego. But every time I'm in the Lego store, I'm going to go over that pick a brick wall. I'm going to look at one of these, look at least one of these boxes, maybe two. And I'm going to look at parts that I think look interesting. I'm going to fill the box with one part type because I'm not, again, sorting. I can't stress how that just was not me. I know, absolutely not. I don't know how you do it. But I'm just going to fill it up as much as you can. And obviously, when you're filling it, be very careful about how you're filling it. Shake it, jiggle it a bit. It's just got to close, so make sure you fill every space in there with those bricks that you're after. It is really interesting. So, I mean, I am quite shocked at the results of this. I thought Bricklink would win. Maybe without postage, fair play. I did not think this little thing would be worth value. But again, depends on the pieces you're picking. So yeah. So guys, I've been Josh from Bricks and Kin. Please like, subscribe it, leave your comments. What do you think? What's your experience of buying from Pick a Brick? Join us on Sundays for our vertical city build. We're starting on shelves and we're going to start going up with these Lego modulars and then our My Creations, and we're going to make this thing have lifts, elevators if you're in the States, lifts, and we're going to try and get some buildings in there, a harbor down the bottom. You get the point, Ninjago at the top, all this stuff. We're going to make it into a fully connected city with pathways and stuff too. So it's going to be a series going every Sunday. So please check it out, okay, and subscribe. Thanks very much. Enjoy.